Padaya, Krishna Prasaya, Namo Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine, Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pachane, Vivishesha Shunyavadi Prastasaya. Of glories to Shiva Prabhupada. My dear disciples, friends, and well-wishers, today I am addressing you from Italy. Um, Actually, I'm in a small village in Italy, and a big storm is coming. There's a storm alert, and wind is howling, and church bells are ringing, warning the people. And my phone is almost out of battery. It's just something Krishna arranged. It's very exciting. So I can only speak for a little while because I don't have a charger. So as I've often said, elegance is truth spoken concisely. I came here to take a small break because we've been on our festival tour on the Baltic Sea coast for 5 weeks. We had a festival almost every day. There was about 200 devotees, huge management, huge programs, thousands of people, lots of prasadam distributed, lots of Bhagavad Gita distributed. I think most of you have been watching the video. So in a couple of days, I'm taking a group to Macedonia, about 40 devotees, another festival program, and then to Croatia for another festival program, and then to London for another festival program. So I had to take a short break here, just for 48 hours. So I wanted to share with you the success of that festival tour. I have been doing it with the team for 35 years. Actually, I think I'm the only person still left since we started in the very early 90s. But I've continued it because it's a unique program. Prabhupada, in my initiation letter, encouraged myself and others to do festivals. You may be surprised to hear that. Within my initiation letter, the Prabhupada gave me my name. And in there, we were encouraged, a few devotees, to take up festivals. And very early in my career, I couldn't do it immediately because in those days, it was just Harinam. We didn't even have any books. We had Ishwar maybe, but we ran out of print. So we would just go out and Harinam for 9 hours a day and provide invitations to, the temple or wherever I was preaching in Europe. And one day on the Harinam, we came across an evening program just off the road in a forested area, beautiful like a park. And it was done by a famous movie and theatrical producer named Peter Brook. And he had organized a tour throughout Europe with the theater called Mahabharata. And there was like 500 people there. And they put up beautiful seating and there were lights and was in the forest. And when I came with my Sankirtan party, Peter Brooks personally came and invited me in. He was a famous person. We had front row seat. It was a 5-hour production. And at that time, they made a promise to Shiva Prabhupada. You told me in my initiation letter that we should do festivals. And I think that you invited me to this festival in the forest in France, where the bourgeois, the rich people, are coming to this magnificent event. It was a 5-hour show. It was wonderful. So I said to Prabhupada in my heart, I want to do this someday. So many of you know in the early 90s, I was traveling in Eastern Europe. I came to Poland. I saw people who were very pious. So I was thinking how to do this. There was no money. There was no paraphernalia. So anyway, one day we went there in the summer. We went to a beach in a place called Kolobche. And we did a little skit on the sand. We did the bird the cage play. We did out some simply wonderfuls. I did a short talk. And that was my first festival. About 30 people came and they applauded. And I thought somehow I could just sense this format is going to work especially in this country. As the years went on, um, my number of my disciples increased. I was traveling all over the world, and we started doing a more organized festival along the Baltic Sea coast every summer. And our paraphernalia expanded, our ideas expanded, our professionalism expanded. And because my battery's going to run out soon, I'll just jump to the point. This year we had about anywhere between 800 and 1,000 people coming every day for 5 weeks, except on Monday. I gave the devoted to break. Like a military approach to Christian consciousness. The thing is, we've been doing it for 35 years. So I was noticing after my lecture every night, I wasn't just, people weren't buying as many Bhagavad Gitas as before. I said, what's happened to Poland? Our shows become bigger and better. Ravindra said it's the greatest show on earth, highly professional, something for everyone, a family affair. But we were doing the book, so I went to the book tent and I said to the girl behind her desk, what happened? She started laughing. She said, Guru Dave, everyone has a Bhagavad Gita already. What? Everyone has a Bhagavad Gita. These are, we're doing a few that people are coming back again and again and again and again to this festival, and they're coming to the tent and saying, I have Bhagavad Gita. Are there any more books? I thought, how pleased should have followed about it. How pleased should have followed about it. So book distribution, Sankirtan on the beaches, 6-7 hours a day. Tens of thousands of people see the Harinam. 1,000 people come to the festival. The Shraddha we run out every night. It's highly successful. Partly because where it is, it's where people go on their Polish summer. They come up to the coast, and the tourist industry hasn't become very big there. So really, we are the shows. I think Krishna just made that. We are the show. So people are coming to see us. Many people told me that few families told me they've been coming 21 years in a row. 21 years in a row. Some of the ladies laughed because you give saris away at the event. That's what they feel. One day you said, I have 15, I have 18, I have 20 saris. What do you do with them? We put them on the wall and use them as curtains, and we bring some of them to the festival so we can do it like that. Somehow we're making a deep impression in Polish society. Actually, we had a lot of opposition, severe opposition in the early years. We were attacked by the skinheads. People would go Molotov cocktails, burn us up in our festival. It's all quieted down now because we persisted and people know who we are. And many, many, many people, they plan their vacation around the festival. I'm not exaggerating. They plan. For them, it's like their pilgrimage. It's like Christians go to Jerusalem, Muslims go to wherever they go for their pilgrimage. Buddhists, they go to Bhutan or Bodh Gaya. Polish people come to our festival for spiritual rejuvenation. One lady told me, I raised 4 children. And I made sure that every year, all 4 of them came to the festival for the last 18 years. It's a tradition in our family. So this festival has to go on. I'm not exactly sure that the chemistry, the arrangements that Christians have made for us in Poland would work everywhere. I know Europe, Polish people are pious and willing to sit even if it's raining. And we've got a history. They know, we've been doing it. So people come. I'm going to take a smaller version starting this September to London. And I hope to one day bring it to America, take it to Australia, take it around the world. A theatrical production, Ramayan, Song of Grace. We're looking at a little bit different approach. But this festival has to keep going. It simply cannot stop. It cannot stop. We're making devotees. Maybe they're not moving in the temple, shaving up. But ISKCON today is really, impressing a congregation around the world. People are coming out, moving into the temples, but our temples have a congregation. So our congregation is the whole country. You think about it. Our congregation, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people come every summer, not exactly. You see, it's actually, we're doing a documentary. We invested in documentary this summer. It will be out around October. You can see, seeing is believing, quote unquote. But the nature of modern times is that the well has run dry. Meaning, we don't have the watchmen we used to have. Mainly, Vasika and Ravinda were giving 90% of their income. That's how the Polish festival went on. Like Bhakti Salam Choice. But his disciples, household disciples, every month we just called him and they had to put all their money on the table. And he would take what he needed. And whatever was left on the table, they had to live on that. That's called Atman-Nivedana and full surrender. That's my life. I collected millions of dollars on Sankirtan. I did Sankirtan for 15 years. I gave it all to Prabhupada, all of my good. But of course, householders have other Krishna responsibilities, but the wealth kind of run dry. Vasika and Ravinda are not able to do that type of work anymore. I'm not traveling around the world and collecting funds. Here than everywhere, it's more difficult. I can't go to Russia. If I speak into Russia, they put me in prison again. I can't go to Ukraine because there's a war. South Africa, their temples have their congregation who need it for their temples. India, I'm welcome to come and preach, but if I try to collect in the local areas, I'll get in trouble. So I'm desperate. There's the massive desperate. It's very expensive. It costs hundreds of thousands of dollars every summer. And we make some money back at the festival. We have our restaurant, we have our shop, but most businessmen wouldn't invest in a program like this. It brings so little return financially. But what is the return? The change in the people's heart. Because this type of approach is a very nice approach. Otherwise, why did Prabhupada say in my initiation letter, you do festivals? Because he knew this type of, it's a soft sell. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. It's a soft sell. It's very attractive because Krishna is the center of the festival. All the theatres are about Krishna, or about Krishna's message in Bhagavad Gita, or about Bhagavatam. They're all related. We have even theatre for children about Lord Chaitanya, his pastimes, his name. We have Prashada, we have saris. It's all Krishna conscious. It's non-different from Krishna. I'm not exaggerating. So when people come in touch, I'll get this. Unknowing devotion. It's like they're walking into the spiritual world. And I'm not exaggerating. To exaggerate about the glories of chanting Hare Krishna, if you think the glories of Hare Krishna movement is exaggeration, that's aparadha. And this is big time picture. Papa wants to do things big. I want to do things big, but the cultural arts, in Vedic times, the cultural arts, Bharatanatyam, Odissi, Kathak, theatrical productions, painting, architecture, was all sponsored by the state, by the king. Same here in Europe. I'm traveling around the gorgeous history of this country, the architecture, it was all government sponsored. But what government's going to sponsor Indradyumna Swami Festival in India, in Poland, and take it to London? And my goal is to be part of the London West End, where in America you have Broadway. That's my vision. I have a few short years left. I'm 77, approaching 78. I'll be 80, in the blink of an eye. I want to establish this festival program, not only in Poland, but I want to do it, make it big, like Cirque du Soleil. The Chinese, they have their big cultural program. That's my dream. I've got the experience. Maybe I've got some purification. Perhaps I have some mercy. I've been doing it for, 54, 55 years, something's there, at least the inspiration. The good initiatives there to do it for my guru. I need the help. I need all of you to help me. I can't do it alone. Prabhupada wants it. Many things we talk about focused edition. He wanted whirlpools. He wanted to defeat scientists. He wanted restaurants. He wanted families with Krishna at the center. But this was his instruction to me. So because you're my disciples, I'm passing on this instruction to you. I'm not going to live forever. I don't want to live. I want to go home, back to the spiritual world. Where Prabhupada wants, I'll come back and take birth. Because until this festival program is ongoing every year in Poland, hopefully going on in London, hopefully going on in other parts of the world, I can't ask my guru to from another service in a kunja in Vrindavan. I have to fulfill this instruction in this world before I qualify myself to go back to the spiritual world. So it's all about service to Guru. That's my life, that's my soul. But anything outside of what Prabhupada has said, a set example, or desires, I've lost all interest in that. The world is just faded, like the end of a movie. It just fades away on the screen. It's over. So that's over, but there's a lot of work to do here. The Rasik and Govinda can't give the funds anymore. Yes, it's a huge investment. What same businessman would invest in something that doesn't come back? But what's coming back? We're changing the face of the earth. That's the best investment. Maybe you can't get monetary money back in this investment, but you can come to this festival and see how the people dance with us in the planet, how the ladies put on show, how they buy the prasad, how they listen to the lectures. It's on a small scale, 1,000 people a day. But even now, where's that going on in the world? Yes, Vaisheshika Babu, he's much more advanced than me. He's taken up this mission of, revigorating, regenerating the book distribution around the world. I'd like to come up to his level of success with my festival program. It's not easy. But I'm asking you to help, and I think we can do it. And my battery is almost finished. Not the battery of my heart. It's going stronger than ever. But my phone battery, and the big storm's coming. I don't know if this building's gonna blow over. There's an alert out there. But I want to make this appeal to you. I know most of you are family people. You've been giving, many of you have been giving as much as you can. It's like giving blood. Blood is not easy to give. You've given as much as you can and more. But then try to help me by thinking of ideas. Approach wealthy people. Approach the government that gives grants. Come to India and have darshan with Prime Minister Modi. Where there's a will, there's a way. I've always had that conviction. If we desire the right thing, Krishna will make the arrangement. But if we don't desire it, it will never happen. And if we fail, better to have loved and lost than to have never loved before. At least let's try. Let's get the Polish tour going every summer. Rasik will give the hard facts. I'm gonna have to give up this call. Rasik can go in and give the hard facts. I don't want to pressure you. I don't want to put you in, poverty. Keep giving, give more, and think of ways that you can help your guru. Keep the Polish tour going on for the next. Well, there was one captain of the port, Indradyumna. He was our opposition. He was trying to stop our festival. But we did it, and he came to the festival to criticize, but it melted his heart. Then and I speak on the stage. I said, if you're going to say something critical, no, he said, no, I won't. So he came on the stage, the captain of the fort, where we were doing the festival, our opposition, came on the stage, and he said, short, he wasn't elegant speech. He had his cap on, his beard, and his weathered coat from being on the seas. And he raised his hand and said, I have one thing to tell all you people. May this festival may this festival go on for 100 years. People went silent. And then they started clapping, and they stood up, 800 people, standing ovation. He said, well, I took it he was empowered by neurotomy. But I have the desire, but I need your help. Prophet said, God is no planner. So use your intelligence. I'm thinking of ways. I'm willing. If they give me another visa, if the court case against me, if we win the appeal in Russia, I'll go back the next day. No, Gurudev, no, it's too dangerous. Danger is my middle name. But I have the Nishingan mantra. Don't have faith. But I'll go back because I can collect symptoms. I can collect symptoms. I have lots of symptoms. It's a country at war. I'll milk the cows nothing if I have to. I have some other ideas, but I'm a lone person. I'm alone. I have no family, but you're my family. So if you feel some inspiration, think of ways we can raise this large amount of money for keep the Polish tour going. Come to the Polish tour. See firsthand. It's one of the modern day miracles. The modern day miracle. Push forward a spiritual movement in the material world. Goes against the grain, as Cutler said. But it's happening. People are being changed. I've written a spiritual offering to the Prabhupada, but I can't share with you now because that's coming up the day after John Moscow. But you'll see how I pray for my guru. And you'll see, I share a story how someone's life changed, someone who came. There's many stories, but you take a drop of water from the ocean, you can understand the whole ocean is salty. Like give one example, it might be also for God. But when you hear that offering in a few weeks, you just multiply that thousands of times. We've changed. We beat the church. No small thing. So they were our opposition. God bless them. We don't hear from them anymore. The skinheads, they don't have to fight the skinheads. You used to fight. Fight. Skinheads. So I'm putting in your hand, like Prabhupada, remember to support it. He wanted to retire and write books. So he gave the practical management of the movement over to the GBC. I remember that. He just wanted to retire. I don't want to retire. And in the same mood, I'm handing over this responsibility to you because I'm getting old. You can see it now. I travel with a cane. My back's better, but my hips are causing me some problems. That, I'll be 80 soon. What's to be expected? Papa said, gentlemen, he either has a stick a cane or an umbrella. So at least I've made some sort of progress. I've got a cane. It's not so bad that in a couple of years it may have a hip replacement. It doesn't bother me. But I need your help. If I'm going to go on and do it bigger, you have to help me take over. Take over at least to begin the fundraising. And then in the future, you take over these festivals and you pass it on to your children. That's how things work. This is Guru Parampara. If you know what your Guru, you know what his fate has been in his life. And in the midst of all this, I'm still trying to inspire you about the ultimate goal, going back home, back to Godhead. I've been speaking for 5 years. 5 years about Braj. How is that? Because one of my great heroes is now come back to Stockholm. The original second conversion. He carried on after the departure of Lord Chaitanya as Panchatattva. He was a very powerful teacher, but he was also a lesson. He knew in his heart, he was some pure devotee. The Prabhupada wanted us to preach. The Prabhupada also wanted us to become pure devotees. So part of my teaching is reminding you of that goal. That ultimately, our ultimate destination is the Loka Vrindavan. You have to remember that. So simultaneously, pick up the responsibility of continuing the preaching. And secondly, listen to my lecture. Remember that the goal is the Loka Vrindavan. These are the two things that give me nourishment. Preaching, preach boldly, prophets that have faith in the holy names, and nourishing all of you with Braj Bhakti through my lecture. You shouldn't miss one. I spend 10 hours every day. Not every day, but I spend 10 hours on each lecture. In the midst of all my preaching, there was no time on the Polish tour. There'll be no time in Macedonia. There'll be no time in Croatia. There'll be no time in Kharkiv. There'll be no time on the book tour. I don't have time, but I find time for you. I'm giving you everything. And I'm giving you this service to help me. Continue the Polish tour, number one. And number two, help me conceive how we can do this in London, in New York, in Moscow, in Adelaide, Australia. Hey, why not? Let's get it as big as Sister Soleil. I've got the desire. I'm just one person, one humble servant of myself. I have many brothers and daughters who believe me, much more advanced. But I'm just good. And I wanted one day to introduce all of you. You should follow me. And I'll probably say, both of these disciples help me, help you with the instruction to make festivals, the arts, as they say. That's a good part of it. This one has a lot to work on, but I want to make the arts, music, dance, theater, painting, all the arts, because art transcends everything. People from France will go to England to see what, English culture is like. English go to France to see. People go to Spain from America. It's a nice medium by which we can share with people. So we have the best culture. It's not Indian culture. The look plain Don Harinam Sankirtan. This culture where the music, the dance, all the pastimes when I come from the Loka Vrindavan. Let's try to see that. This comes from the Loka Vrindavan. We're introducing people not to Indian culture. It appeared in India because according to Shastra, the most highest people in the universe, it appeared there. We're introducing people to that place where every step is a gap, every word is a song, and there's a festival every day. They're self-refulgent. You don't have to organize them, they just happen. But to get there, we have to do the festivals here. By doing the festivals here, working hard, work now Samadhi later, but doing the festivals here, We qualify ourselves to participate in the process there. But don't think of yourself as so mundane endeavor. These are the modern day pastimes. These are the modern day pastimes. We're being introduced, we're being engaged in the pastime. When Krishna came 5,000 years ago, it was like a theater. Lord Chaitanya came, he said, come on the stage, everybody, dance with me. Sing Hare Krishna. And go out and spread this stuff every time I go to the world. So I think they're like that. The preach his holy name will be heard in every town and village of the world means real folks should be. The scientists should be. Restaurants should be. English should be there. This is what I want to contribute. The arts. I just love it. I want to make it like when people come, like the mayor of one town in America, he told me, Maharaj, your festival is good as Broadway. I said, what? I said, yes, I go to Broadway. I don't know how you do it. Your actors, your dancers, the ballet, the choreography. It's like Broadway, but it's better if you have a method. So let us, our group, our Ganu, it is Gopi Gana means different groups of Gopi. Let our Prabhupada Gana, our preaching, let's work together. Keep the Polish stuff. I'm in anxiety. I am in anxiety. I think my secret's draining out. The anxiety. I worry about it. I cry about it. How can I not do? My guru gave me this instruction. That's it. I can't do it. My life's useless. But I'm only one thing, only one thing. So please work together. I don't plan to retire. Of course, university, before the day will come when I won't be able to travel widely. Old age, I welcome old age because it's young. This is the beauty of old age. All the lectures that I not the body, the thing, that knowledge becomes realized in old age by the mercy of Guru and Guru. And now I have a bit of a reputation around the world. I'm trying to take advantage of that. I have so many loving disciples. I'm so proud of you. But I have to keep pushing you. Prabhupada would push us. Dr. Siddhanta Saraswati would push us. It's like, is that temple free? Now we're going to do another temple. Boom! Out! Well, as long as I'm here, I have to keep pushing you. Take advantage while I'm here. Because I'll recognize you here. And there's nothing better than being recognized by the Guru. Lord Shiva, he wants to glance at Radharani. Yes, I just want to glance at him. Oh, finish here. Well, that lots of things. How glorious which is our part. Studying culture in the spiritual world, all over the material world, he died. Let's not only do it here, let's take it to the 14th world. Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur said he wouldn't be satisfied until all the 14 worlds were chanting Hare Krishna. So let's work together. Janme Prabhu Shay. I'm into it. So the 14 worlds will be delivered. Then we'll go home. And we'll say, Prabhupada. Thank you. My battery is up to 2%. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much. I love all of you for the meaning that. Vasika, I have to, now the storm is coming, I have to go into a shelter. The police are coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. I have to go.
Thank you, Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much for your address.
I'll glory to Srila Prabhupada.
We'll continue the call. Thank you so much, Srila Gurudev.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Please take care.
Hare Krishna, please take care.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you for joining. I guess this is the largest meeting we all have had online in any time I remember. Yes, sorry, Srila Gurudev had to leave because of the situation. Originally, actually, we were all supposed to be in Berlin. Actually, Rasika and I are in Berlin. So that's why we actually arranged the call today so that we could be with Gurudev in the same room and help him with the Zoom and everything. But unfortunately, I had to travel to Italy for like a day. So that's why it got a little bit.
And we didn't want to move it because once you move it, Gurudev's schedule is so tight, it's hard to match our time zones, Europe and, California to East Coast and all of that. So that's why Gurudev also said, I'll try to do it.
So, yes, actually, we have a second part of the meeting where we want to actually thank all the devotees that have been supporting a Polish tour for many years. Again, I don't know how many of you saw the thumbs up in the message. So probably there are very few of you that were connected with this when Srila Gurudev gave his address last time. So generally we don't advertise or we don't talk about because we are all serving as part of our own respective temples, and we want everybody to also support the local temples, and we all want to work together as one bigger family. At the same time, we also because of the structure of Srila Gurudeva's festivals, as Gurudev was saying, it's all in the mood of giving. So normally, if you construct a temple, then you cultivate people, and then the people contribute back to the temple, and then the temple becomes self-sustaining, and then it works on its own. Whereas with the festivals, we are preaching to strangers, they become devotees, and then they contribute elsewhere, and then it doesn't necessarily come back to the festival, which is why we are always in this mode to maintain it ourselves. And um, especially in the last few years has been really challenging. Um, Apart from the challenges that Gurudev mentioned, it's also a lot of devotees are getting older. So previously,
I mean, the tour devotees, the artists.
yeah. So previously, whatever they could do, now they're physically, their bodies just don't allow them to do. So we are having to support more devotees financially over the years.
Basically, the devotees who come to the tour right now, it's about 150. Originally, it was like, originally meaning 10, 20 years ago, it was like many people. And then over the time, war in Russia and Ukraine reduced. And then now the devotees who are there, many of them have been in the tour like for 18 years, 20 years. So now, and they all did the service as voluntary. They didn't expect anything. But now they're all getting older. They have, wife, kids, apartment rent to pay and things like that. So we are also having to account that in the budget to take care of the artist and the other devotees who support the tour.
And I mean, we all see the Gurudev's pictures that he sends in the Gurudeva travels. If you're not in the WhatsApp group, please message me. I'll add you to that WhatsApp group. Gurudev has been sharing a lot of things. Most of them are all the front end stuff. That's all nice and wonderful to watch. But behind the scenes, if you hear about the sacrifices these devotees are doing to come and please Gurudev with their energy, with their time, with their resources, skills, talents, it's like phenomenal. Just like one Mataji we were talking yesterday, we're asking, how do you support yourself after the tour? Because they go back after the tour to their respective places. So she said, I'm a substitute teacher, and whatever I make from that, I use it. And we asked, where do you stay? She said, I'm also like a pet sitter. So I don't have my home. So whoever home I am pet sitting because they are gone on vacation, that is my home. I move, house to house, week after week, like that, just enough to live in the area where I can be a substitute teacher. And then that's how I run my life. I was like shocked, relatively for all of us in, US, we have a relatively comfortable life and more of a predictable, stable life and family and everything. But I mean, partly it's like that's also one reason why many of you don't get to come to the Polish tour. So probably in this group, I can count maybe 4 or 5 devotees that have actually come to the Polish tour so far. Whereas these devotees, they live month to month, but only for having the time and the ability and the flexibility to actually go wherever Gurudev wants them to go. So you can see, so their surrender is at a very different level. So they mold their entire life to just be in Polish tour or the Rishikesh tour or the Karthik, wherever Gurudev is. They arrange their lives in such a way that they do some jobs, they live somehow, but make their priority like that. So it's like we all have our situation, our strengths, our surrender. So that's one way we have been we as a group have been supporting Srila Gurudev um, by actually providing at least the financial support, so that because the other devotees are providing all the physical actual execution of the festivals and everything, so they are surrendered in that way, and we can be surrendered in this way by supporting them. So if we do that, then we, even though we are all far away and we all have a life situation which doesn't allow us to take break and go there and serve physically, but we can still be part of Gurudev's mission. And also previously I think a lot of us knew about the Polish tour because Gurudev used to write the diaries, travels much more frequently. But now, because after once he started the YouTube classes, a lot of time he spends on those, so he doesn't get to write the diaries that much. So he only shares the pictures and videos from time to time. But especially this year, it's just growing every year in terms of the popularity, into the people's interest. And Vrajapati and Priyacharan came this year. Maybe you want to speak a few words about your experience today? Maybe like a couple of minutes this year.
Yeah, maybe I can just quickly share what I've been sharing. Everybody, when I came back, were asking the same, and quite literally, it was like walking into the spiritual world for us, and that's what we were expecting as well. But the dedication, amount of dedication, as you said, Prabhu, from these devotees, I've never seen something like that before, and it was amazing every day in and out. Like we start early in the morning, they do Guru Puja, and after breakfast, everybody goes on Harinam, and all the tour devotees, they practice a lot. And then, after going on Harinam and distributing flyers, they all, do these shows, and they are like 18 shows, 6 shows a day from 5:30 to 10:30 in the evening. And no one ever seemed tired with all that, after doing so much. I don't know. And Gurudev also is in a very special mood there. We've never seen him like the general who's like also at the same time supporting the entire crew by being in the front and motivating everybody every day. And at the same time, he's also spending so much time with these new people. I remember the lady who I was just there for 3 days, but I remember one lady he met on the street. Um, she came to the festival one day, and the next day she was in sari, and then the next day she came again. So it's just, impact on these people by the presence of Gurudev, and these shows that are amazing, amazing, quality, which they've said Cirque du Soleil, or the Chinese shows, it's comparable to those, and if with enough support, I think we can get there. I mean, we can make it so popular. It's already so popular in Poland by, we can see that so many people come again and again during the summer festival, especially to the, cities like Klopchik. And we were just bowled over by the one is the dedication of all the devotees there who have been serving by, like you mentioned, leaving their part-time jobs, coming to the festival, don't know what is gonna happen after they go back, whether they get another job or not. The dedication of those devotees every single day without getting tired every day. and the impact that these shows have on the new people, those two things, and of course Gurudev's mood, I guess those three things are something that we will treasure, by this like small little like experience that we had. It's just so inspiring. I think we just cannot stop talking about it, like, and hopefully we can, as you are saying, continue to support this, and this can go on for 100 years, like Gurudev said.
Yeah. Thank you, Vrajapati. So, yeah, the first thing actually, we would like to request everyone is please prioritize your vacation for next year such that you can attend at least a few days. Uh, like Vrajapati came only for like 4 or 5 days actually. Even if you come for a week, you'll get a really wonderful experience, and we can make all the arrangements for your visit, and you can experience the austerity of the devotees firsthand.
We'll put
So-
you in the school.
So, yeah, so that's one of the first request is please come, because this is a very important part of Gurudeva's preaching mode, which we don't see in Karthik, which we don't see in Sadhu Sangha, which we don't see in his normal US tour or India book tours and everything, because each like a program has a certain mode, and the Polish festival mode is like entirely different. It's on a different scale, so you have to be here to experience that. We can't describe much. So first of all, we want to invite all of you, because every year, especially some of you might have heard, last few years it has been on a very kind of a dangling thing, whether we can continue or not. But only because Gurudev desires it so badly, it's continuing. But after this year, we decided that we can't even ask that question anymore, because it will be such a injustice to our movement to stop such a wonderful offering, because we are I mean, as Gurudev was saying in his speech, sometimes we judge the return on investment by how many people have become initiated devotees or joined a temple like that. But actually, over the years, I've realized that the way the Polish preaching is successful is not by taking one devotee from A to B, A to Z, which happens when you are in a temple and when the same people coming back throughout the year. That kind of cultivation is possible. So here we are actually cultivating entire masses, like entire country of people, because they're all come from different parts of the country to their summer vacation in the Baltic Sea coast. And then the idea is to take them from wherever they are to one step higher. So if, for example, if you are like a not even a vegetarian, for a person to become a vegetarian as a result of the festival is the success of our preaching. And for a person that's a vegetarian, for them to believe in soul is the success of the preaching. Just one step from where they are. And if you're believing in soul, for somebody to believe in the concept of reincarnation and karma and understand the bigger picture, which is what Gurudev always emphasizes in his lecture, that is the next step. And for somebody knowing that to chant the holy names in their own homes, in their own beads, is the next level. So like that, and if you read all of Gurudev's diaries in the last 25 years to 30 years, every person is in different part in that ladder, and over the years they have been advancing in their own way. We may not see them in the way we are like seeing them as devotees with tilak and kanchimala and dhoti like that, but they're all actually graduating over the years. That's what one devotee, one person told Gurudev this year, that this is the 21st year we are coming. It's an annual family tradition. She said, my eldest daughter is 14. She has been coming for every one of your festivals. So like that, it has such an impact on the masses. This is like just like public, like many of us won't even know unless they come and tell us. But the effect is there in terms of preaching to such a large group in such a open and fun way, to show them how blissful spiritual life is, without pressurizing, without uh, any hard selling. Even if you come to the festival, there is no soliciting, or there's no pushing to take books or beads or any of that thing. Everything is voluntary. That's why, like sometimes, people come and get like, 15 Bhagavad Gitas. Somebody may think, oh, in one festival you distribute only 15 Bhagavad Gitas. We, distribute like, 100 Bhagavad Gitas in the street. But the difference is the 15 Bhagavad Gitas that are distributed in a day are not, we are asking people, but they are asking for the book. That's a huge difference, which means those books are not going to be sitting in their shelf for years to be opened, but these people are coming with the intention to read right after hearing Gurudev's lecture. So that's why this is like, in terms of the, you can say, the adoption of Krishna consciousness from wherever step they are. There's such a powerful program, and it's like basically the whole show is nothing but Bhagavad Gita class and Bhagavatam class and Kirtan in just cultural form. All our shows are all nothing but Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam classes, actually, in a very grand and a very cultural way. And the audience is like completely mesmerized. And again, I'm noticing a particularly distinct flavor this year, because all of our productions are also being upgraded and increasing every year. So it's at a point where people are just riveted, and also partly I think why I'm able to appreciate more is because for like 2-3 days we had a guest from London. So I was like sitting right next to them and watching all the shows and explaining. Sometimes when we do it, every time we take it for granted, but then this time those guests were like completely blown away, because they've never seen, like, imagine like some 1,000 people of a random country being interested in a play about Srimad Bhagavatam, and like with all their attention, not just hearing. So if you give a class or if you do a traditional preaching, they're not going to stick around. Again, all this happening in a Catholic country, it's like, uh, it's unbelievable. That's why Gurudev is, like so interested in continuing this. And at the same time, there's a problem, is that he doesn't want to do just this. So he wants to do this plus 10 other things.
And it's increasing every year.
Yes. So you would think that as people get older, their preaching will kind of, become quiet. But it's exactly the opposite way, because it's actually, the reason it's opposite is Gurudev is thinking, I haven't contributed enough to Prabhupada's mission. I haven't fulfilled my instructions to my spiritual master enough. I have only a few more years left. So he's racing faster than ever. So, so that's one reason, even though, again, part of the reason we never had this kind of any call related to fundraising in this last, so many years, is also, like, because we have been able to maintain the existing programs nicely. But last 2-3 years, Gurudev has started the Rishikesh tour at a completely different level. We are doing the India book tour, and then we are doing the Macedonia, Croatia, and other tours. Now we are doing the London tour for the first time. And also, even last year, we wanted to do a India theatre tour. We tried so hard, but we couldn't make all the arrangements to do that on time. So a lot of expansion is happening. And also because everything is expanding, Gurudev also needs Rasika and me to travel with him and organize all these other programs, which we didn't have to do. Because of that, we couldn't do that with a full-time job, traveling everywhere. So that's one main source of complete reduction of almost, like you can say, 75% of the income we had in the tour. From our earnings, we couldn't like support. So but Gurudev is very clear that he wants our help in that actual in London, for the preaching in London. We are now having to start a company to organize the efforts to get grants from the government, because now, like what Gurudev was talking is like, how do we do things like Cirque du Soleil or the Shenyun type of festivals? So all that requires a huge investment capital, and those things we can't bring from our devotee community. So for that, we are having some devotees help us connect with the local London, like arts
UK
and
government.
grant sources, UK government. So they are been successful in doing that sort of outreach there. So we are working on that scale. For us to do all that, like somebody else has to help in maintaining the existing programs. So that's where we wanted to reach out to you. And first of all, I would like Rasika to maybe thank first all the existing devotees. Again, many of you again, we don't discuss or publish these things. So again, many of you have been contributing, but nobody even gets the credit for many of this, except that Gurudev knows that you are doing all the sacrifices. So at least we wanted to share some of the names that of devotees that have been consistently supporting this Polish tour in the last 10-20 years, and also open up the floor for the opportunity for the new both in terms of recently initiated devotees as well as the next generation of younger devotees, for whom what is my service? How can I serve Gurudev while being so far away? Right. So this is exactly the question we had, and the answer the Gurudev gave was, if there is a stage, I can preach. This is the first instruction he gave. Only if there is a stage, I can preach. So we took it as our service to put on the stage so that he can preach. So that can be our mood. That's the same instruction for all of us that Gurudev gave today to help him put on the stage. So we want to, Rasika, want to share that?
So as Govincharan said, many of the devotees here in this group have been consistently helping with the Polish tour, along with our donation. All of this we have been using to do the tour every year.
Do you want to share how much the budget is?
Yeah. So the overall cost of the Polish tour, if you say this year, it's about $430,000 or $440,000. And as Gurudev was saying, that it's not like a sustainable thing, in the sense we don't break even. We get about $80,000-$90,000 in the shops that we have. Like we have a restaurant, and then we have like a Gopi Dots, some shop. So there's the Polish people who come for the program, they take prasadam in the restaurant. So we charge for that and few things. So in net, every year we send from the US, from Friends Forever, like about $350,000 to the organization in Poland, from which the expenses are being made. This is something we have been doing. And as you know, every year there is something new or something unplanned, unexpected happens, like the war in Iran. It increased all the transportation costs this year. So the gas prices went up, as we saw in America. Same thing in Poland. So all the BOGA expenses and all went up. So I don't have the complete figures for this year, because they are still, it just got over. Today is the last day, actually. The tour is going on. We came a day earlier. So approximately that's the budget that we are hoping to raise. And these are the devotees who have been giving consistently over the years. So Govincharan and I, on behalf of Gurudev, we wanted to thank all these devotees profusely and very grateful. As Gurudev said, everybody has many responsibilities. So giving the hard-earned money is not a joke. It's like, giving blood. So we are very grateful. I wanted to thank these devotees: Keshava Priya Prabhu, Vrajapati and Priyacharan, Ramrati and Kamalashri, Devadarshan and Rasarani, Sachi Sutta and Rasarani, Nikunja Sundari, Radhakrishna Seva and Rajeshwari Kripa, Radhapada Duli, Ram Vijay and Lalita Madhavi, Amrita Sundari and Rasa Vilas, Sadhu Vrindavan and Shamali's parents, Prema Mai, Nadia Bihari, Krishna Mandal, Mayapur Chandra Prabhu, and Vijay Gopal. There are few others as well who gave. We took the names from, actually we maintain a list which we use in Friends Forever for our tax filing and all that over the years. So from that I took. And I also wanted to add that recently some of the younger devotees who are going to jobs, who are going for internship, they have also started contributing. Like Pavani Radha, she's a next generation devotee who's working now. She transfers money for Gurudev's projects. And recently, Rani Radhika contacted me after seeing Gurudev's videos. She got initiated this year, and she got very inspired after seeing Gurudev's videos posted in the group. And then just like last 2 weeks ago, she wrote to me saying, I would like to contribute. It's so nice to see that the devotees are getting inspired by Gurudev's preaching, and they want to contribute according to their capacity and according to their situation. So thank you so much, everyone. And as Gurudev said, he is depending on.
Once again,
Hmm.
so I mean, there have been many other devotees also giving. Pretty much every one of you give. This list is just above a certain threshold. I think like $5,000 or something.
Yeah, because in Friends Forever, we have to write anybody who gives more than a certain limit. So I took that list. Otherwise, the donation list is definitely a huge list.
Yes.
I took from the Friends Forever list, which we file with the IRS. So this is, yeah.
Again, no contribution is small or big, but this is just to give an idea that the list of names that Rasika shared. One thing I want to call out attention is, except for like one or two people in that list, pretty much everybody is above 50. So all of us started when we were 25 or maybe 30. This effort, again, when I say these devotees, I've been talking about these devotees donating last 10, 20 years, pretty much. So we are all above 50. So again, Sadhu Vrindavan, I say Sadhu Vrindavan's parents. It's not Sadhu Vrindavan and family, but their parents. So this is also kind of a problem, because this culture of supporting Gurudev started like 15, 20 years back, and we have never made any effort to make it as a service for the next gen devotees. So as devotees like us, like Devadarshan Prabhu, we are all retiring in the sense of not retiring from service, but retiring from income generation. It behooves the next generation to take up and step up and fill the gap. So just as a rough estimate, so about every year we need about like $400,000.
No, 350.
You know,
Because the income comes from the festival. So I said
Right.
350.
right. In
Okay,
general, like
another
even
year.
for the other festivals,
yeah,
everything
for-
together. So we usually try to raise about $400,000. This was before the Rishikesh Kirtan Fest happened, because that's now a separate budget. Of that, about like $100,000 comes from all the devotees mentioned in this list on a regular basis, and we have been giving the rest for these years. So that's why I think the current shortfall, you can say, or the gap is around $300,000.
Apart from these devotees.
Apart from, again, assuming these devotees are continuing, so that is what we need as a gap up for next year to continue the next year's festival. This is a huge shift and a huge change, but along with that comes the opportunity for the newer devotees. When I say newer, they're both the younger in age as well as younger in getting initiated in terms of connecting with Gurudev and like supporting his service. So and also we did the same with the the disciples in India recently. Last couple of years, uh, almost half of the Rishikesh Kirtan Fest is being now supported by the Indian disciples. So we don't have to we don't have to bother everybody for every program. We are trying to break it like that. And this year, Keshav Priya Prabhu is generously supporting almost half the Rishikesh tour as well. So with that, the next year's Rishikesh Kirtan Fest is taken care of. And then we also generate some funds from the book tour that Gurudev does in India.
Which goes to for the
yeah, Gandharvika Leela works so hard on the books each year. Gandharvika Keli works so hard on the books each year. So all that work gets translated into selling of these wonderful Vrindavan books, which also helped Rishikesh Kirtan Fest. So that is taken care. And for all the London, the newer preaching opportunity, we are working with the local London devotees to make that sustainable. Because the first year we are like, seeding that project, but the goal is to make it self-sustainable. So that's one thing. We are also trying to make every project sustained locally. For Sadhu Sangha and Kartik Parikrama, because we collect registration, so we don't have to worry about that beyond devotees supporting for the prasadam component of those programs. So those are like nicely taken care of in a self-sustaining way for the most part. The only challenge in Poland is because all the devotees coming are, as I said, they are just like living month to month and coming with their energy. So that is their contribution. And in terms of the country also, it's a Catholic country, and like, and also the way the nonprofit is registered and there are a lot of restrictions. But despite all that, this year we had a lot of meetings with the local Polish devotees to see how we can also increase the contribution from the Polish festival itself. And also, unfortunately, our movement had a bad time with some, like gurus that were in charge of that area, leaving Krishna consciousness. Unfortunately, because of that, the temples aren't that healthy or strong, and so that process of converting the attendees and making them donors requires a year-round cultivation. We have been lacking that component. Still, despite that, the people are becoming devotees in the general sense of advancing in Krishna consciousness on their own, like I explained, but it doesn't translate into an income source. So it's not like a closed feedback loop at this point. So that's the only reason we are having to usually sustain that through the festival, I mean, through the devotees from America. And this is also a nice opportunity for us to serve Gurudev because, uh, again, compared to the level of the surrender of the devotees that have to do physical hardships, luckily by Krishna's grace, we are not having that level of the physical instability for most part. So that becomes a complementary thing. That way, Gurudev doesn't have to worry about funding at all. That's one. Actually, I was mentioning in the message that is one. That's actually how the Sadhu Sangha itself was born, because this was the same situation we were in 2010, where Gurudev had to travel throughout US to raise the funds that needed for the Polish tour through his diary of traveling preacher books he were distributing. Um, at that time, he was like in his 50s, late 50s and early 60s. So even then, in 2010, 1 year, we had to cancel half of his flights because he just couldn't continue the tour at that pace. That's when we said, like, instead of trying the next year where he has to travel, we said, like, why don't we all meet in one place where we could travel and he could be in one place. And then that's how the Dallas Vyasa Puja was started in 2011, I believe. And many of the devotees, Sundari Priya Mataji was such an instrumental person for organizing that program. And, she's one of the supporters as well for many years. So Devadarshan Prabhu and others as well. So, uh, that program was there's a turning point, because Gurudev actually honestly didn't expect that many local Dallas devotees to come for that festival. Because as we now know, the Dallas devotees are so enthusiastic for the kirtans. So that's when Gurudev got the idea. He thought Vyasa Puja only some disciples will come from here and there, but he saw so many local devotees coming and said, but so many of us have been coming, but we couldn't really have a lot of kirtans because we're all traveling from one place to another, giving directions, getting lost, and transporting the prasadam, people going from one suburb area to another, and all these things happen. Why don't we find a retreat center and do it there next year? And then he gave that service to Ram Vijay Prabhu, and he said he can find, and Ram Vijay Prabhu found the retreat center in Austin, and then Rasika and I, we would show up as guests on a Friday evening, and he would do all the work and uh, all the hard work and everything. So it started like that in 2012, our first Sadhu Sangha retreat, and Gurudev gave the name Sadhu Sangha, and now it has become such a wonderful source of inspiration for all of us in North America. So as you can see, when we are trying to do something for Srila Gurudev, uh, even though we are serving our spiritual master in a specific way, the way the Guru Parampara works is that when everyone is surrendered to their spiritual master in their particular way, the whole movement gets benefited. We may not be able to serve every project, but if we are serving the project dear to our Guru in that particular way, the whole movement gets benefited. So that's what we found happened with Sadhu Sangha, even though it was not an intention to create a large festival like that and serve in that way. But just by, actually, this was a, yeah, because we did not have that much appreciation for like doing Vyasa Puja at that time. And Gurudev insisted us, like, he particularly told at that time, you guys don't have the culture of respecting the spiritual master as much in America as we used to do earlier. That's part of the reason why sometimes the preaching is also declining. So he told, no, the spiritual master has to be worshipped. That's a principle we were taught by Prabhupada. And then that's why he insisted on that Vyasa Puja celebration in Dallas, like that. So, and especially us doing in a remote temple where, only a few, a handful of disciples were there. It was very challenging. But then Gurudev's words came true. Because of that inspiration, so many devotees came together and the Sadhu Sangha was born. Now, so many devotees are taking shelter of that. So many spiritual masters are coming together. So many devotees are finding their spiritual masters in Sadhu Sangha. And every year, it's been growing thanks to the service of so many of you who actually miss the Kirtans just to make the festival happen. But all of this, you can say, one thing feeds another thing, that feeds another, and this is how the expansion and growth happens. So that's our message actually. Please take whatever Gurudev said today to your heart and make this as your heart and soul and make this as your life's mission, like many of us were doing for last 15-20 years. And it is especially important for the next generation of devotees and particularly the younger devotees. If you're a student, study for Krishna and make your life successful such that you can support Srila Gurudeva as well as the local temples in whatever way you're serving. If you are earn for Krishna. It's not, and this is one thing Gurudev taught us, like if you do work for Krishna, that's as good as doing arti for Krishna. So because they're all devotional service, they're all absolute. It's not different. So we shouldn't think work as material and only chanting and dancing as spiritual. They're all actually spiritual, like Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, Brahmarpanam Brahmavir Brahmagno Brahmana Hutam. Everything is actually Brahman or spiritual to the degree we actually utilize and dovetail it for Krishna's service. So yeah, please see how you can and again we have never seen Gurudev choke up so many times. You can it's amazing. I'm happy that I actually recorded today's session. I've recorded only locally, so we'll probably edit out and share accordingly. But this shows how much the Polish festival is dear to him and how dear everyone that supports the festival is to him. So so with that, in terms of specific action items, so yes, maybe think about it and please reach out to Rasika as maybe you can, if you have a certain commitment that you can think of for next year. Like this year, as Rasika said, this is the last day of this year festival, so we are covered for this year. But for next year, we need to raise this $300,000 for this particular project. So if you can kindly think about what you can do personally, both that can both be your own donation as well as what you can raise from your friends and family or any other sources that you can think of, any ideas you can think of. Um, Everything is welcome. We just wanted help in whatever way you can. And if we can make that shortfall cover, then we can tell to Gurudev that the service is covered and he doesn't have to be anxious. So that's our entire goal, is to how to like make him, because he's now also expanding other things. He's also of the type that he doesn't give up one thing for a new thing. That's why the Polish tour has been going on for 35 years now, because it's always been steady. So many people have come and gone, but it's always steady because um, even with Sadhu Sangha, actually, he didn't want to change the venues so many times. So, but because of the COVID, we had to move around and we had to change. So, but he always wants to do, if something is, his principle is simple. If something is not broken, don't fix it. So he always says that. So he likes to do this plus all the other things. So if we remove this anxiety from his heart, then he can focus on the
He'll be peaceful.
expansion. Yeah, anything you want to add, Rasika?
I think you've covered everything. Time much.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can stop here. Any other comments or questions anybody wants to bring up? We can take on 5-10 minutes and then wrap up.
Prabhuji, thank you so much
Thank you.
for sharing this. So maybe we should have a follow-up meeting there,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
a
we
good
can
idea.
see, we can have set up a target that by this date. And I mean, you have you have, I mean, and we don't like to say that, I mean, in front of you, but like, is there something major thing going on? Because you have been doing this like I mean, close to 300,000 every year. So next year, all of you, I mean, all of that money would not come. So, I mean, everything is all right with you. I'm so sorry to ask you, kind of, because
No,
you,
it's
I
not
mean,
work.
I
No, the
feel kind of, I think everything is all right, right, Prabhu? I
yeah. The
mean,
thing is,
yeah,
Prabhu, we both are not working now. So far, we have both been working in software, right? So that's how the money was coming and we were donating. But then I quit 2 years ago because it was hard to do everything. I was working in the night most of the time when I was traveling. But then after a
yes,
point, I couldn't do that. Then Govincharan also quit last June. And he's still trying something to make money as usual remotely,
mm,
but he doesn't have a full-time job. But everything else is okay, Prabhu. There's nothing. I mean, we even thought of options like selling our house, but then Gurudev said, don't sell the house because house is the only thing we have. So he said, don't do it because for your whatever future, when you're old, you need that. So we have been thinking about that, but we kept it.
no, yeah, I think that's very true. I mean, but it's gonna go, one of, because you are there, so it's definitely gonna go. We should have maybe a monthly meeting and see follow up, and then we can work on the numbers. That
Sure.
I'm sure that because we all collectively can definitely. I mean, we can do that. And I mean, sometimes there is no news is good news. So I mean, better to share that, because if you don't hear, then people, then devotees don't think about it. But I think maybe, so yeah, I think maybe we can have follow up meeting and see whatever we can all
Sure.
communicate to you, and then you can come up with a, oh yeah, this much shortfall or this much, then
Yes.
in terms of, and then
Sure,
how
Prabhu.
can we
That's
raise
a
this
very good
fund over
idea,
here in
actually.
US
That's
also,
my
Prabhu?
thermometer.
Yes, Prabhu. Actually, I mean, I know many temples, they do like a kind of a pledge and things like that in public. One thing we felt is this is our own, like it's our own devotional service to Gurudev. So we don't have to compare with what somebody else can do or give or anything.
Yeah,
We
no,
don't
I
want to
think
create that kind of a, like
I see.
competition or that kind of a mood. The mood is more like it's because every finger is different. So we all have our own means and our own what, again, as I said, for so many years we never asked anybody else because
Yes.
we were able to support, and that was totally fine. But just this year, because of the need for travel for expansion, I can't do my full-time job by being in one place. That's why we have to reach out. We want it to be a very personal offering by every devotee according to their capacity. So as long as we reach the 300,000 goal, it doesn't matter who gives what. One person can give 100,
Yes.
another person can give 10. So that's it's in every individual capacity. That's why we didn't want to make it like a fundraising call like that, because then it becomes like a more of a social thing, and uh, like we unintendedly try to compare and feel good or bad about it. So better, we thought, if individual devotees can think about what they can actually as a commit as an offering, and then share with Rasika, and then maybe we can collect that, and then we can, as you said rightly,
Update
we
to
can
group.
have another meeting where
Yeah, update. I mean,
we can
how much
update.
short we are?
The idea is
We,
to not like compare, but to share and to inspire each other what we can do.
yes.
Because that is the mood, because we are not here just for 1 year, right? We are here talking about next 10, 20 years, how to sustain the festivals in the way that Gurudev wants, for, like as he said, the port the captain said 100 years. So it's about the long term. So again, that's why if somebody is not even working, this is a way for them to think about how can I make my work as an offering to Gurudev and Krishna. If somebody is studying, they can think about, okay, how do I study well so that I can serve Krishna when I grow up. So we want devotees to grow up with that goal, so that whenever they are ready, that is their service to Gurudev, like that. So we want it to be very personal and this thing, but at the same time, yes, we have to meet our goals for next year. So whoever can step up and do whatever they can, please let us know, and then we can, as you rightly said, we can have a follow-up meeting, and then we can discuss
Like
other
update them, like they put a thermometer and say like this is our target
Yeah.
and there we are, right? Yeah. Prabhu is saying
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, wonderful, Prabhu. We'll do that. And in
Sure.
case you
And then
in case
people are leaving going.
and in case you all thought my Purushottam Prabhu was only a doctor, you can see how much of a businessman he is also. Okay,
By your
anybody-
blessings, Prabhu, anything can happen.
Thank you,
So,
Prabhu. You are, yes.
thank you. So let's meet in another 2 weeks or 1 month.
Yes.
Okay.
All of us should please send you our message, and then you can say we are short of this much or whatever, or we
Right.
are overflowed, right?
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Anybody else? Any other questions or comments?
Yes.
Can wrap up.
Can we
Yes. Yes.
talk with the
Please.
Chiranji?
Yes.
Haribol,
Yes.
Rasika, Haribol.
Jai Shri
Hare
Guru.
Krishna.
Thank you for
Hare-
your service. Amazing. Always
Yes.
amazing.
So
Please.
we have some topic to talk to you, but this could be really good if we will meet privately
Yes.
and talk about your interests, and we will share with you what we have.
Sure, Prabhu. Actually, we
You
are planning
prepared the
to.
presentation.
Excellent.
So when we can talk, because I don't want to discuss in details among all devotees, just take time there.
No, we can.
Expensive.
We can message you and
Yes.
fix a time. We can have a Zoom call because we
Sure.
are traveling
Thank
until September end.
And yeah, we are planning to come to Chicago in September and no, maybe in October before Karthik, so we can meet at that time.
October, we're going to be doing it. October, when you're going to be? Because we're doing retreat in Florida. October.
Yeah, why don't we take it offline and we'll plan a time? Yes.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah. Anybody else?
Govincharan Prabhu, Rasika Mantaji, thank you so much. I just had two lines to say because I was really puzzled. One of my colleague is from Lithuania.
Wow.
I never heard that country. And somehow I said, hey Krishna in front of him. He quickly picked it up. Long story short, he came to know through the Poland festival.
Wow.
Hmm. I see.
Amazing.
I didn't know Lithuania country also exists.
Yeah,
Wow.
there are
But
many people we see like Lithuania, Latvia, because they all come for vacation, Baltic Sea coast and all that, and they, they get their introduction to Krishna consciousness. Jai.
Amazing.
It
Yeah,
was just amazing. Yeah.
that's why
I have a few questions, Govincharan Prabhu. I'll shoot it to you directly.
please. Yes. Anytime. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. This is
Haribol,
Shamala Kishore.
Shamala Kishori. Haribol, please go ahead.
Oh, so thank you so much, first of all. And this was very moving conversation with Srila Gurudev, like him, so much emotion that he expressed. And I just wanted to say, I was thinking of that expression, many hands make light work. So even for those of us with limited income, if we feel like there's no minimum, we can give as much as we can, like even if it's $5, $10,
Yeah.
regularly, like tithing, then if many people do that, the numbers go up very quickly. Yeah. And then
And Shamala Kishori, sorry, one thing I want to add. Please, this is not about what we can do individually alone. Yes, by Krishna's grace, if you are well to do, that's fine. If not, we still have our intelligence and our words. We can just talk about it to people, whoever our network, who can sympathize with the festival, maybe invite them for the festival. We can spread the word. It's about connecting with the right people wherever you are, and then bringing the funds to Gurudev. It doesn't have to come from
Yeah,
us.
she was saying that regularly can we all
Right. No, that I'm just saying to your previous point, because that's why I said I don't want this to be like a pressure for anybody in terms of personal commitment. Rather, it's a service.
She didn't say that.
Whatever way we can bring it, that's great. So, yeah, just want to add that.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yeah.
I was sometimes that when numbers are presented very high, like 300, 400,000, then people who can only give a little, they feel discouraged, so they don't give anything. But if we like even $5 helps, even $10 helps, then that's what I was suggesting.
Yes.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
The Russian devotees who come to see Gurudev in the tour, that's what they give, because they come in train to Poland, and then that's the means they have, and they give like Gurudev 10 euros. And he is very happy because they are giving what they have. And they want to give with all their hearts. So everything matters. As you say, I will share in the group, like, Zell, because Zelle, we don't lose any commission or anything. PayPal and all, they take all of these, they take commission. So I will share in that so people can continuously give, or they can have like, once 3 months, I will give some amount, anything and everything helps. Thank you, Shamli.
Thank you so much. Yes, Sudevi.
People, do we ever do like GoFundMe's? Because the other day my friend was, doing a GoFundMe for her partner who got, there was a crisis obviously, but they raised like 30,000 in a couple days. And so it was quite surprising how quickly people can donate.
So
in
the
that
thing
situation.
is, Sudevi, we also want to be aware of all other projects happening in ISKCON.
Yeah.
And that's why we are asking locally to our God family and maybe their friends, whoever are attracted or inspired by Gurudev's preaching. When you put out in GoFundMe as such, it becomes like, what to say, in ISKCON, there are many projects in GoFundMe. Like, people ask for many reasons, like farm community, this and that. So we don't want to create any sort of disturbance for local temples or communities or something that's already happening. That's the reason. Gurudev does GoFundMe for others. Like, for example, Agni Dev Prabhu had a heart surgery. Gurudev started GoFundMe for him. And this was like 4 or 5 years ago. And everyone contributed. And, Gurudev gave it to Prabhu. But then for his project, he's not that comfortable. Because we don't want to step into any other sources or anything that might be seen otherwise. That's why. And one Mataji had said that GoFundMe also takes considerable amount of commission.
That's why I wanted. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then again,
that's
I
true
wanted to
too.
tell, like, if people want to donate stocks, we have a stock account. That's how actually we have been donating, like Govincharan's Broadcom stocks and this, our Microsoft Google stocks, they all went to Friends Forever. Like what we used to do is when we sell stocks, we pay tax. So we donate our stocks to Friends Forever because in Friends Forever, we sell stocks. There is no tax because it's a non-profit organization. So we used to, so far in our IT career, we all had stocks. So what I'm trying to say is stocks are welcome too. It's not just donation, any other form.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Or match companies that match and these types of
Oh,
things.
that's a very good point. Actually, there are many devotees here who do matching from, so many people do like Apple, Google, Microsoft. Many devotees here also help with matching. Thank you, Sudevi, for pointing. Like, I just wanted to add this quickly. When both me and Govincharan were working in Microsoft had a matching donation limit of $12,000 per employee. So we both were using it. So I was telling Govincharan why they are putting a limit. In the sense, Microsoft has so much, right? So I wrote an email to Bill Gates. And surprisingly, he replied. I wrote to him saying, my spiritual master is doing this, and me and my husband are working in Microsoft, and we would like to donate our money, and this is what we donate. What I told is, you are having this program, but not everybody might use that limit, right? Because Microsoft is huge. Not everybody might use 12,000, but we have our limit. Can you give us somebody else's limit? Something like that I asked. Can we donate? Like, for example, if you're donating 100,000, can you match that? That's what I asked. And he replied. And then he said very nicely, it's company's policy and he has to make sure it's fair and even and all that. So I tried my best. So I was just trying, Gurudev always says, think bold, right? So maximum he's going to say no. There's nothing wrong in asking. He appreciated what we were doing. He appreciated the generosity and all that. But then he said, company has policies, so he have to work within that. So matching is a very good thing that we all have been doing ever since, and many of you have been donating. So that's another avenue as well.
Shyam Gopal Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Thank you so much for sharing all this information. It's good to know what's going on. So, Prabhu, my question is like for devotees like me who don't have first-hand experience with the Polish tour, are you guys going to share any like information about it? Because when we try to reach out to any other devotees, it's good to have more information so that we can convey it, market it well.
like
Yes,
a PDF or
yes.
something?
Is Srinathji still here? I saw Srinathji and Keshav Priya Prabhu sometime back. Okay, so yeah, that's something Srinathji Prabhu was actually trying to do it even in Sadhu Sangha with his booth. So we'll try to work with them and
Maybe like
generate
a information video or a brochure or
like
something,
a
which you
comprehensive
can
thing.
share with numbers and impact and scope so that people can see and appreciate. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
good
can
idea.
prepare that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Prabhu. Sure. I think we should be mindful. It is
Yes.
Sunday. Everybody has Sunday temple programs and services.
And Rasaraj has to go back to his crypto thing to support the festival. So that's the last thing
And
I'm counting on. If
Actually,
nothing
He
else,
was just
I was literally just emailing you.
he was
Actually, yeah,
just
yeah.
emailing. but-
I know you.
Yes, what
I
did he
have been behind Govindcharan that you have to open the. Rasaraj asked, can we do cryptocurrency? And Govindcharan has to open that account for Friends Forever.
I've been just learning about crypto last month just to be
And
ready for
I put it
that
on his
step.
to-do list. Like, please open that account. You know, I have been telling him. Thank you.
We'll do it in the now that Polish 2 is also over little free, so we'll do it in a couple of weeks.
Okay,
So-
perfect.
He
And-
just emailed you, right?
Yes, just now.
Thank you.
And many of you also have been, donating for prasadam for Kartik Parikrama and for Rishikesh and all of that. Thank you so much. As all these projects are running with the generosity, and I tell Gurudev that majority, I don't want to compare, majority of funds comes from America. It's a fact. Either because maybe here, Gurudev says, God bless America, because people are a little well off and the income generally is more when you compare to Russia or India. I know. So more of the funds are coming from here for Gurudev's various projects. And, we are very, very grateful to all of our God family here. Thank you. I think we should finish here. Everybody has to go. We have to maintain the time. It's 1.5 hours.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I think we can wrap up here. Thank you again for
Yeah.
everybody
Just
joining.
just one more comment, Mataji and Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Majority of fund comes from the America. Why can't we generate more fund from America? We have I would say we have the best item like that could generate like a sadhu sangha. I'm just giving an example, right? That could be of course it serves the devotees, but it could generate the Lakshmi for us also, because there is no other thing on the earth. I was about to say universe, but there is no other show on the earth. That show definitely should generate the Lakshmi. I'm just saying that, not just like us, everybody in North America can contribute to that. If we make it a kind of a business venture, of course, our main business is to serve and spread the holy name. I'm just giving a little. We should think on about that. The funds will come from North America, 90% of that. So we should use our best product to generate the fund.
Prabhu, actually, what you say is very true. That's what this year, Srinathji, Saki Mandala, and we have Ishan here, Rani Radhika. So we have actually started a nice, I think Govind Seva Prabhu is also here as part of the marketing team. Mayur is also part of that. I think most of you are staying around. Wonderful. So that's part of we are having a marketing efforts. So the idea is not because the price that we have, we feel bad every year increasing, because as you know, for many years we kept it under $200. Even though price increase, inflation increase, no matter what, we always sought to increase the number of devotees rather than increase the cost, because when more devotees join, the cost gets amortized and we are able to break even like that. So that's why we never increase the cost beyond what is required for break even. And but at the same time, the festival is so nice that there's an entire group of people who are not yet devotees in the local communities that can actually participate, and then the cost can get amortized and we can get a lot more savings, and we can use it for Gurudev's projects. So that entire option is possible. So we wanted to do it in a way we don't want to increase the you can say burden on the devotees to increase, but by increasing the festival attendance, we can do exactly what you say without sacrificing any of our goals, because the first priority is for devotees to actually benefit from the association and the chanting. That's the primary reason for the festival. If we increase the cost for the devotees or do anything that will increase their burden, then less devotees will come. While maintaining that goal, we also, the one way is to bring an entire set of people who are pious and like they love kirtans, but so which means we are not marketing enough. That's what this entire team is focusing on. How to, for
Yes,
example,
Prabhu.
let's say get to
Prabhu,
5,000,
we can have
6,000 like
some
that.
other, because right now I know, I mean, we are also short of the time and there are so many devotees, but we can have some other time
Yeah.
short
Yes.
for
Let's
5
talk
minutes.
to
Yes,
Prabhu.
very good idea.
Because Prabhu will have other
5
ideas.
minutes
Talk to him.
talk. We can have a short talk whenever. Maybe I will message and find
Yes.
out a kind of I mean mutual convenient time to talk about 5 minutes about that.
Great.
Definitely, Prabhu.
Thank you so much.
And Govincharan, let's share this recording for devotees like Sri Rangavati said she couldn't join. We can trim whichever part. Gurudev's part we should record and put it.
Right.
It's something that we can watch again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, Prabhu. So thank you so much, Prabhu. And
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. We'll connect with you. Thank you,
Yes,
everyone.
Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Pasendukevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki
Vaishnavrinda ki
jai.
jai.
Srila Prabhupada
Gurudev ki
jai.
jai.
Ki jai.
Jai.
Gaur Premanandi.
Hari
Hari
Hari.
Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
Bol.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
We got this. We're gonna do this for Gurudev.
Jai.
That's coming from
I'm
who?
inspired.
Sudevi. Jai. Jai Hari Bol.
Hari
That
Bol.
was really inspiring. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.